hit that record, bro.
I didn't realize it was that long of an anime, Mike. I only thought
It's
it was like a
fucking
movie.
yeah. No, it's ridiculously good series.
All right. No one cares. Now, you guys are now at the manor. People are funneling in from the funeral. You talked briefly to the Count. I believe Zane, waiting awkwardly on the stairs, had a few questions.
Yes, he did.
Oh God.
Go on.
I was specifically hoping to try to just sit back and watch all the maids and butlers like go against their daily tasks and see if I could get sort of like a rhythm to see who's actually going upstairs and like patrolling the hallway, or if most everybody's downstairs, or if I'd get a general rhythm to that.
Jay, did you write an entire patrol schedule for everyone in this building?
I don't need to actually know.
I'm just gonna give him an idea of how much staff there is, because I feel like that's kind of what he wants to know.
I just want my character to be able to react to their general patrols.
Okay, duly noted. So based on your observations, you don't know particularly in the kitchen, but you know that there is at least a butler, around 4 footmen.
Okay.
Footmen are they generally are the guys that like hold the door for people, stand in the corner of the room waiting to be told that something's needed, and they serve the food. Clearly, you need to watch some Downton Abbey in your life.
You know when you're in the bathroom and there's a guy that like wipes your hands and hands you a towel?
Yeah, basically that. That role is a footman.
That would be such a poor job.
There's about 3 maids and at least 1 like page boy.
Yeah, I sue. I'm gonna fuck the page.
Someone likes the page.
You guys can solve the mystery.
Well, you already met the page boy. He was in the stable, and I think you creeped him out a little.
Oh, I was also a complete dick to him. Never mind.
You were like, hey, take care of this fucking
this
horse.
horse, you dumb asshole.
This horse needs attention. Dan wasn't here, but you'll notice at the end of the table, I have put a kind of rough family tree because I felt it would get kind of confusing.
We had most of that data already. It's just the 3 young girls on the other side that we didn't have, I believe.
I don't know if I had
3 young girls.
And Adeline.
3 young girls.
I mean, they're not like young girls, but you'll meet them eventually.
I had Adeline already.
Adele.
We had that.
We had her very.
She's white, not black, Jay.
All right. Anyway, any hoozle. Wow.
The other thing I wanted to sort of see, like, if the lady had any emotions when she was going up the stairs to her room to freshen up, or if she was like looking annoyed or
sad.
So it was actually grief. It wasn't like,
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty genuine grief.
I mean, that's good. I didn't want her to not.
That's
have
good.
grief.
I want her sad.
Yeah, and like, if she was.
Like, gonna go up to all the morning people and be like, "This is good. It's good that you feel this way." Leave.
All right. So now that we've done that, I feel like we're caught up. Go for it, boys.
Those are my main questions.
You 3 were up here in a room discussing some private matters after the Count had left because you didn't want. It was discreet stuff.
Yeah, and we were saying we don't really trust him, and Dan was calling us stupid. I recall correctly. His name is Carradine.
Yeah. I'm a potion master. Fuck you. I
actually didn't have much from last week. Some of my notes are so bad. I have.
Yeah,
So
I
you
have
guys learned
some.
so much.
I have
Well,
more
good
from
thing you were paying
Controller.
attention.
So is
That's fine.
this is the room that the lady is currently in, right?
What? Sorry, I can't see which one's your fucking hand.
I know. I
Oh,
circled
you
it.
circled it. Yeah, that's
You see her
that's the
piece
Count
right
and
there?
Countess's bedroom. Yep.
Oh, is that okay? I didn't see that little fucking thing there.
There's a lot of people to keep track of right now.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh, you
Why?
went.
We have 2 Adolins, and one is white and one is black, and they're in separate places.
Where's
She
the?
clearly is a magic user.
No, I added another
9
Adeline
and
because I
11.
couldn't find the other one. Where is the white one?
9. She's right here.
Oh my god! Thank you. I was looking for her. She blended in. This one doesn't exist. But she did
The
go.
black one doesn't exist. Jesus.
It was purple. Wow.
Well, they're dead.
Oh.
Okay. Now,
All right. I guess I'm going to walk downstairs and see if I see the boys.
well, as you walk downstairs, Mr.
assume I
Kiernan's
don't
going to
see them.
see you and say hello,
Oh.
along with his
Right.
family that is trailing behind.
Oh my lord, it's the worst
Oh,
case scenario for Mike.
No.
A whole family of people. have
Mike
walked
is our
up to him.
first introduction to 5 people.
So Kiernan comes up to you, and he's you haven't met this man yet. He's he's kind of a nicely dressed, but clearly for like a funeral, like he's dressed all in black. He takes his hat off and he's like, hello. I don't believe we've met.
Hi, my name is Sheridan.
Carradine. Okay. And how did you know my nephew?
Well, actually, I'm just a humble postmaster here, trying to peddle my wares, but he was.
What?
He was-
I'm sorry.
What?
You're here on a sales call?
No, the young man. The young master was quite a good customer. Oh, wait.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
The young master was quite a good customer, and we often talked as he walked through the markets, and it was just a very very sad loss. It impacted me very much. I was
Oh.
very thankful
What?
when his father invited me to the reception here.
I didn't know he was so close, or his hobby, because I didn't know him as well as I thought. Well,
We
it's-
only ever know one side of him, right?
I suppose.
I hate that.
Well, it's nice of you to come and show your respects. This is
Peddle
my wife,
wares.
Krista, along with my 3 daughters, Abigail, Shira, and Nell.
Well, it's certainly nice to meet you all. I wish we could have met under better circumstances.
Do you want to buy my potions?
Jay, I am a huge fan of the 3 daughters having the same model and descending size.
That is on
I was
purpose
looking
to
at the
show
family
the
tree.
oldest to the youngest. Maybe later when time has passed.
Looking through my notes, I am missing one very important detail I'd like to ask the boys while we're in this room. What was the name of his gentleman's club that we quote know him from? Thank you. That was a place in Claremont.
What?
That was a bar in
Made
Claremont.
that up. I find it weird as fuck. That's a real place.
Last night?
That was one of the bars we went to on my 21st.
I remember that shit.
Nice. I probably subconsciously had seen it before, but I just did the generic thing.
That
of
was
just-
correct, though. Corey
It's
did.
a color and an item, like the peppermint rhino.
All right. Mike, you better watch out for bears.
I know. I need to fucking be on my toes there.
You've got a bad start, I'll tell you that. I never in my wildest dreams could have imagined that Mike would say that he's here to peddle his wares.
I didn't say I was here. Yes.
At a wake.
I was explaining
You're approached by a fancy man as the others start to walk off. Y'all in the back room might want to start coming out so that this guy's not handling all of the interactions.
Yeah,
and I'm still working for you guys.
So this fancy dressed individual kind of steps out and he goes, "Did I overhear that you sell potions?"
Potions and poisons, the finest kind.
That's
not why I'm here today.
Potions
and poisons.
Please roll charisma.
I think Zane got into cookies before this.
Mike, did you roll?
I rolled a 13.
Okay, yeah. I was like, if you rolled low, I was gonna say you're slurring as shit.
No.
Alright, how odd that a poison salesman is at a funeral. Seems a little less than becoming.
Oh my god.
Well, I primarily sold potions to the young master, so to...
Oh, was the young master fond of potions?
Oh, he liked the way they glistened and glittered in the sunlight. Vials and all their colors.
We don't know! Also,
I mean, you guys could do anything.
Remember when we discussed if him being the potion seller was bad, and we all said it's probably good he can get information? This is not how I saw that going.
What? Zane's so good at thinking on his feet.
Alright, guys, we should probably get out there and meet everyone.
Alright, so back to Reginald. He's like, oh, well, I suppose I've never taken too much of a inspection of them.
Oh, they're quite amusing in the sunlight.
I'll have to take your word for it. Myself, I am Reginald Finch. I'm an old friend of the family. This is a pretty, like, elderly-ish gentleman.
Are you a patriarch to any of the large houses around here, or are you just
Oh, nothing so noble myself. I was a friend of the late Count, and since his parting, have tried to stay close with the madam to comfort her.
Well, it sounds like you are a trusted friend.
Indeed.
He shall
I hope
not
so.
fuck the madam. Everything's falling into place.
Do you...
All right.
Some might say. Have you met the rest of the family? How close were you with them?
I primarily just knew the young master. He was quite fond of my wares, but unfortunately I never had a chance to meet the greater family until the Count reached out to me.
Allow me. He kind of shows you into the side room where there's a large group of people. This is Caradan, you said your name was?
Yes, Postmaster.
A lot of nods from the men and stuff. The Count kind of steps in, kind of like a little bit awkwardly. Yes, this is Caradan. You believe he is a potion salesman. He knew my son. Who's here? All right, Butler ain't gonna say shit. Gershon just kind of looks up and he goes, "You know Riga? I never heard of you."
We simply shared a fondness for the way the potions shined and all the miracles that they could perform with such a simple bit of alchemy.
Deception, please.
It's okay. I got 24.
Okay. Oh, well, I never heard Riga talk about you, but, I mean, Riga had a lot of interests. All right, you three boys up in the room. What are you doing? I mean, you guys are on the first floor. Well, yes, according to the map, because it's split into lower level and upper level.
Yeah, you're like, what, 70 feet away?
All right. So you guys are heading out, and yes.
God damn it, hurt my legs.
Yeah, Lickle is hiding between Laurel's legs, pacing time with the steps and hid behind.
My man, there is no Lickle anymore.
Yeah, Lickle.
Your legs.
Lickle is very, very invisible. You basically have 3 legs. Wink, wink.
Together we become Merc Brondy.
All right.
Zon Brondy.
All right. Kieran kind of greets you two. Says, "Well, Matt, I'm
just met this guy. You're calling him the wrong name.
I'm Kieran Vashon. I was the uncle of the young master, and who might you two be?"
Hey. Greetings, Kieran. It's unfortunate to meet under such circumstances, but I was friends with Riga from the Silver Fern. I kind of go there every now and then, and I'm a traveling bard, so I just played some songs, and he always appreciated my work, so we got to know one another. Yes. I believe both of them.
I mean, as far as you know, just the count, but I mean, you can lie however you want.
Oh, I had it written down wrong then.
Just roll 24.
So he introduces himself along with his wife and his daughters again. The daughters are, after being introduced to what seems like everyone that they don't know at the not party, but gathering, their father kind of lets them know that they don't need to stay by him anymore, and they kind of head off up the stairs into the manor. The madam also is starting to go up the stairs, and Countess is coming down, having tidied herself up and changed down to greet her guests. You notice a rather well-dressed gentleman walking in the door, but as he's well dressed. He also has like a sword at his hip and kind of a dressy cuirass on, kind of like a high ranking guard or something like that, walking through the doors. As he yeah, thanks. All right, as he comes in, the butler kind of walks over, kind of and talks with him briefly, and then comes back to the group and introduces him. Sir Filigree. As he comes in, he goes, "Hello, everyone. I'm deeply saddened for your loss." And as after the kind of intermingling with the rest of the party, he kind of makes his way over to you four. He only sees three. And says, "I'm afraid that you three I'm not familiar with. I am Sir Filigree. I am an inspector of the watch. Terrible tragedy that's happened here."
Gory, fuck that up. Because Zon Brondi is my penis and we're with Carradine.
Mr. Mr. Tom DeLong needs to roll some deception.
Oh my god.
All right. So as you're making the introductions for you and your compatriots, you notice that the weirdly small Sir Filigree is kind of making some faces as maybe he doesn't quite believe everything you're saying. Well, as I mentioned, I'm an inspector of the watch. I generally am called in on such matters as this. The Count has requested the utmost privacy, but between you three and I'm also here to try and see if I can find out what happened. The details that the watch has received are quite vague. I believe it's a little too early to tell, but the word that such a young and healthy heir has just died in his bed is a little suspicious. Indeed, and how did you hear? Silver Fern, I've been there a few times. I can't say I've ever seen you, but it is a large place. Where are you from? Phandalin. Phandalin. It's off on the Triboard Trail. Haven't been there in ages. It's a small little village. Oh my. You come face to face with an owlbear? And you, young bard, you were about to say something?
Well, I was interested in what you were saying about having to inspect. When we had heard about Rega's passing, they gave us very little details other than he just died in his bed. But as you were saying, young and healthy male, it's pretty surprising. Let us know if you find out anything, sir.
Yes, indeed, it is worrisome. Indeed. Very, very well. I appreciate your concern. I will warn you that I'm not usually forthcoming with details of an investigation, but all right. Well,
Make sure you let me know what you find out. By the way, you don't have to tell me anything you find out.
I told him.
Oh, Tori said that. Never mind.
well, Sir Filigree bids you farewell, and he, well, not farewell, but like, he, says, nice to meet you guys, and he kind of walks in to discuss things with the Count and the Count's business associates and friends in there.
I'm gonna, seeing him go, I'm gonna walk down and kind of quietly talk to Terzin. And the knight that just entered is also seems to be asking for information about how he was killed. Is this another? Did Count Vernon or Vashon want him investigating as well?
Sorry, you're gonna have 1 second in here. Much of what you said, because I just realized that I can't be showing you guys 100% of where everybody is at all times.
That's fair.
It was like they have places that they're going, but like you guys don't know that unless you go there.
Yeah.
Fucking Oblivion all over again.
All right, sorry, what were you saying?
I'm going up to Terzin and very quietly being like, "Hey, the knight you just introduced us to is also poking around and asking questions about Riga. Did the Count send him to investigate as well, or do you know why he might be interested in what happened?"
Sir Filigree is a very well-known inspector. He handles quite a few number of mysteries and investigations and slayings. The Count, I don't believe, although I would not be able to speak on behalf of the Count, has reached out to him specifically, but it was probably only a matter of time before he showed up. He is had a history with this family, and he's relatively friendly with the Count and the Countess, having been called to assist during the grievous events that happened about 20 years ago. I'm sure you've heard.
Yes, indeed I have.
Is there anything else you... Yeah, sure. 1 sec.
That's a no.
Alright, I'm back. You asked if you can trust him? Alright, while I believe the less that we are able to inform Inspector Southwood, the better. The Count would prefer that his matters are not in the hands of someone holding public office. This is why you four were brought in. But I would expect Sir Filigree to do a decent amount of poking around and investigation himself, as it is his duty.
All right, thank you for the information. I'm going to excuse myself, head on over up to the kitchen, and take a look around the kitchen and see if anyone's in here.
All right. You head over to the kitchen, and Mr. Vincent walks over to Merc. Wait, that's not Mark McGirth. Zane is... You guys know it, so I don't have to look through my things?
Carradine and Tom DeLong. You over there.
Carradine and Tom DeLong. And he goes, Carradine, Tom DeLong. I don't believe we formally met. I am Vincent. I know the very minimal about your your presence here. He kind of tips his hat and winks and goes, "The Count has filled me in on some of the specifics. I am an old solicitor for the Vashon family. I handle the estate and the records. And as such, I know a bit of your true purpose here. Please let me know if I can assist in any way."
Are there...
Indeed.
This seems like a poor plan.
Yes. Why, of course. Excuse me, everyone. Like, yes. Vincent would obviously know about the true matters at hand. He arranged the contract with the moneylenders. He handled all the bookkeeping and records for the... Sure.
I'm going to talk to Vincent and sort of recount what I'm aware of for the family tree and see if he is aware of anybody else within this direct descendants of the Elizan. Madame Elizan.
Sorry, you're going to have to say that again. I didn't quite get what you were asking.
I was going to explain to him specifically what I know of the family tree, the direct family tree, which would be like the Riga being the older, Gershon being the younger brother, and Adeline being the younger sister.
Yeah.
And just see if there were any other nearby family members that met an unfortunate fate aside from the Count that we already know were that was murdered.
Well, just 20 years ago with the Count and the uncle. However, I mean, there is of course Marenta's husband, the Duke of Eltegard. But I've not seen her. She did not appear at the funeral. I'm not sure if she's coming. Oh, well, kind of looks around sheepishly, and he kind of goes, well, Marenta was married off to the Duke of Eltegard, Duke Findal, and she stayed there with him. He was very well beloved by the people of Eltegard, and after some rather quick series of events, he became ill and died almost suddenly. It wasn't received very well in Eltergard, as he was much beloved, and it was such a quick illness, pretty short after the wedding, and so Marenta came back to live with her original family here in Neverwinter. Obviously, anything undue is just rumors. We know that Marenta would never do anything.
Certainly not.
Just a tragic series of events. Riga? Oh, no. She loved her nephew. Magic? What an interesting question. Why do you ask?
Nominated yourself to be Oh, magic user.
At that, Sir Filigree kind of leans in. He goes, "Excuse me? You, you know that magic had a hand in this?" Kind of getting a shitty look from the count. You are all within, like, 5 feet.
Yeah, you are 5 feet away from
the guy
other guy.
Hear it.
Super discreet.
Remember how I went to the kitchen to say things?
Whoopsie.
Oopsie. Don't worry about what we said.
Oh, please understand, I'm not formally investigating anything, as he kind of nods over to the count. It was just interesting to me that you mentioned the use of magic. What brings you to think that happened? Well, with respect to the family, I would suggest we move topics to something more lighthearted about the young master in his life to be celebrated. Roll charisma.
That's your Christmas stat. Tough. Oh,
7. Okay, well, there's a little bit of a social stank in the air, like that you just kind of drop the ball. There's a little bit too long of silence as you bring up basically saying like, I think the young count was murdered by magic in the middle of this fucking like funeral wake.
God, damn wizards are so awkward.
All right, let's move over to Laurel and Lickle, who have entered the kitchen, and they see in there that there is a cook's assistant, and at least like a footman kind of hanging about as they kind of hastily try to prepare food.
Is there any way I can like go and grab something to eat, but get away from everyone so they can't hear me talking to my bus driver?
Not in here. Like
Shit.
you could snag something and then move to a different room, but like this is a kitchen and people are cooking.
Yeah. All right.
Have you ever been in the kitchen, asshole?
No. I lie about having a job. All right, I'm gonna snag some food, and then as I leave, I'm gonna go into this room.
Bathroom.
Yeah. And then Lickle, I have a plan, but I'll need you to do something.
Oh, it already sounds bad.
That Sir Filigree is gonna get pretty different information from us, and since we're also investigating, it's not a bad idea to find out what he's going on about. So I think I should go get his attention and talk to him a bit, and then you jump from my legs to his legs so we hear everything and see everything that he finds out.
Well, I got really lucky hiding between your legs. I may not get so lucky trying to hide between his, but I could try it.
If you think it's too dangerous, I was thinking what might help. But I also don't want to blow our cover, and hopefully they aren't already doing that right now.
I mean, if the worst happens, I can just try to say I'm drunk or something. Fell into him by accident.
We can try.
What? Why are you saying it like that? This was your plan. This is your idea.
Immediately abandon your party member.
I'm worried it goes wrong, and then you're not hiding. People know you're here. I have to explain why there's a little person coming out of my pants.
I'm not really in your pants. We could just tell them they're all racist and they just were looking over me the whole time.
That's a good idea. Let's try it, Liggle.
Yeah.
It's got to start sometime.
We'll call it the... I don't know. What do we call this maneuver? The third leg shuffle?
I like it.
So who are you trying to transfer Lickle to?
It was gonna be
Sir Filigree, right?
Filigree, but apparently he.
Oh, Sir Filigree had walked upstairs. You kind of
Right.
stepped to the top of the stairs. You can
I'll
kind of casually walk up behind him if you
head
want.
up after him. And
Are you kind of like sneaking up behind him, or?
no, I'm just trying to talk to him real quick. Get his
All right.
attention.
Well, he hears you coming up behind him, and he kind of stops at the top of the stairs, and he's just like, "Well, hello again, sir.
Hello
Odd
again.
things your companion was saying about the matter of death."
Oh, I had excused myself to get some food. What had happened?
Oh well, he seems convinced that there's some foul play, and that more astonishing than that, there's some magic involved.
My friend Tom DeLong has been obsessed with magic since a young age. I think anytime there's a mystery, he wants to try to blame magic and think about fantastical things instead of just accepting that he has lost a friend.
While he's in conversation with Laurel, I'd like to try to sneak between this man's legs.
Tory, deception, damn stealth.
Oh lordy, fucking combo roll. Fuck.
Do we get advantage for both trying to do this at once, or no?
He can roll stealth with advantage. You don't get it on deception.
All right. 12.
My highest roll is a 16.
Okay. You managed to sneak quick step with unheard between his legs without him noticing, having him be distracted mid conversation. But Laurel clearly notices that this man is not quite believing the things that he's saying. Seems pretty skeptical. Well, I suppose some people harbor unhealthy obsessions, but I would advise your friend to stay away from magic.
I will let him know. He's a handful, so hopefully he'll do that.
Indeed.
It was
now, if you'll excuse me, the butler has informed me that I may be able to inspect the young Riga's room.
right.
He heads off, starts
Gonna go back down,
heading in here and inspecting things.
Join these two.
And as Laurel comes down the stairs and kind of heads into the kind of foyer or whatever the fuck this like lounge area is where everyone's talking. At that moment, you hear a kind of a loud thump, and you hear a woman scream. Coming from the big staircase area. And I need to set some shit up.
Alright.
What time of day is this? Like how far into the
Oh, it's dark.
general?
It's night. It's probably it's probably like
Started
8,
at 5, right?
maybe 8:30. Probably 7. I don't know. Somewhere around there. Is it super important?
No, just context
Okay.
wise.
Cool. That wasn't meant to be sassy. Just saying.
No, I agree. If it's not important to you, it's only moderately important to me.
And as you rush out for the hearing the sounds of the thump and the screaming, everybody kind of moves over into the main hall to see that Dellen, in a large pool of growing blood, has kind of clearly fallen or been pushed or whatever. She fell from the top of the stairs dead. And there's
Can
a
I
lot of
rush
blood.
up to her and try to force feed her a potion? Well, I don't think she'll be accepting of it if she's just writhing in a blood pool, but...
To be clear, she's not writhing. You can indeed try.
You don't have to tell me what
however,
happened. You
as you rush up and kind of turn her over and bring a potion to her lips, you notice that her entire throat has been slashed open. So you feel this potion may not be super effective.
I'll still try it.
Shove in her throat.
I'll still try. All right, well, remove a potion from your inventory, but it appears that
force feeding one to her.
Most of the potion doesn't kind of like most of the potion gets into her mouth, but a lot of it runs off the side, and it's very clear that she's not able to swallow it. It's just kind of like she's kind of dead, and the remainder of blood in her is kind of seeping out very profusely from her wound. Oh, now it's all over you, Mr. Omega.
Is there a cleric?
Kiernan kind of rushes up. He's like, "What happened?"
I don't know. I just saw her fall. There's so much blood. I tried to...
Abigail, did you see what happened? She just fell. I was at the bottom of the stairs, and I heard her hit, and oh God.
While they're talking, I'm gonna rush the top of the stairs.
And I'm setting up who's running down after hearing it.
Oh, all right. Why is Countess Revelda like smaller than Lickle?
Because size is relative.
The lollies.
So Gershon kind of rushes out from downstairs. Everybody else is kind of coming up from the upstairs. And as you're rushing up the stairs, you kind of you pass Ista, who's running down to her daughter and kind of rushing to her as Abigail's clearly freaking the fuck out. All right, what are y'all doing?
Hiding between this guy's legs.
Oh, I forgot to move this boy.
I was wondering if he was going to do anything.
He's hiding behind Mike's portrait. All right.
I'm still
what did you say,
trying
Corey? She was the first one you passed, yeah.
I'm still just calling out for a cleric or any sort of experienced healer.
Is anyone a cleric or any sort of experienced healer?
I'm upstairs.
Who are you asking?
Right? I'm next to the body.
I'm upstairs. Just you and Zane.
Okay. Well, the Count and the Countess were up there. If this is you like rushing up there, but they're very quickly trying to get down. Because, their daughter's dead.
That's fair.
Is there anything you want to do immediately, or do you want to let them kind of rush by you? Roll perception.
I stick my foot out and trip them.
Okay, I mean, you look around closely as you're sprinting up the stairs and you get to the top, and you do see a little bit of blood on like the banisters and like some some smears of her kind of going over the banister. But there's not a ton on the floor beneath it. And as inspecting the Count and Countess, they are extreme. It's extremely urgent for them to get downstairs. They heard cries and they can see the kind of for the most part they know it's their daughter. They can see from the top of the stairs, and they need to get down immediately to her. But you don't see any kind of blood or anything super suspicious on you. Anybody else? Anything?
I'm hiding.
I don't have anything left in my inventory.
I'm at the...
Yeah, you can rush up to the
I came up
stairs.
here first, so I saw Corey come up, Count Camper and Revelia go down. Is there anything else I see? Like, has Vincent moved at all? I know.
It appears
Southwood
that
came out.
Well, Lickle would have seen for sure, but when the scream and the thump in reverse order had happened, Sir Filigree was still kind of inspecting the door frame to Riga's bedroom, and then had kind of quickly walked out of there after hearing the noise, and he got to around here when everybody got to the top of the stairs. Madame Elizon down the hall appears to be kind of casually walking out. There's definitely the concern of like what's happening, but it may not have dawned on her what has happened or something. She was just kind of walking down the hall at a slower pace. Vincent Cochette, you don't know where he was. He was already at the top of the stairs when you got there, as well as Count Campar and Countess Revelda. They had either beaten you to the stairs or were already there.
All right. Going to go over here again.
All right. Well, these people are going to run down
Southwood
to their daughter.
Gonna say I ran up the stairs as soon as I heard the scream. I saw her fall, and I knew it came up for here. What can you tell me about Madame Elizon? She seemed to just kind of be walking away. I don't know if she was in shock or something.
You heard what? What happened? I was in the other room and I heard some noises. I've just only come out.
Oh, we were.
My God, has there been an accident?
We were in the main room, and we heard a scream, and Adeline had fallen to the ground with her throat slashed open. I ran upstairs to see who was up here. And, the only people I saw were you and the Count, and then Madame Elizon. I wasn't. You're a knight. I assume you can be trusted. I don't know if you know why someone might have done this or if you had seen anything.
My God. Well, thank you for informing me. You say you saw her fall, rather.
Yeah, when we heard the scream, we came out, and she had fallen from the...
So you heard the scream, and then you came out. Sorry.
Yes.
I
heard it before I came out. I was washing the dish.
Thank you for getting that terrible old reference.
Shit is ancient, but so good.
All right. Did you see anyone at the top of the stairs? My God.
when I had gotten up here, I had seen the Count and his wife going past me. Vincent and you were both over on the left side, and I saw Madame Elizon walking away down the right corridor.
Okay. Really? You said just Vincent, him, and the madam? You didn't mention the Count and Countess?
I said I saw the Count and his wife going down the stairs towards...
Really? Okay. Thank you very much. And where was your friend over here, Tom DeLong?
Tom DeLong was with us in the lower level as it happened, and he also came upstairs to look around.
Kind of scratches his chin, and as he goes to go down the stairs kind of quickly, he kind of stumbles and falls a little bit, and unfortunately, Lickle is not falling to his knees with him. And he kind of goes, excuse me, I seem to have lost my footing. And he turns around and goes, well, hello. How long have you been?
Sorry, you didn't see me there. You tripped right over me.
Have you been here this whole time?
Yes, I don't believe we've been introduced, but I've been hanging around. Did you see the girl fall?
I'm afraid I did not. Where were you when the girl fell?
Oh, I was, where were we, boys? I was down speaking with some of the other guests. You may have already met Merc McGirth and Carradine.
I have. Mark McGirth is the guy behind you. Carradine's downstairs. And you are?
Oh, my name is Zon Brandy.
Zon Brandy. Afraid we haven't had the pleasure. I am Sir Filigree, and how is it that you know the family?
Oh, I'm a traveling merchant. I've met the Count on a number of occasions. We became close friends in our times. He never really was much of a customer of mine, but we spent a lot of time talking together and sharing stories, and we enjoyed occasional meetups. But unfortunately, as I came through town, I heard terrible news about his son passing away. And my God, I don't understand what happened, but it seems that this young lady's clearly been attacked.
Yes, I seem to have agreed. Apologies for interrogating you just now, but you came out of nowhere, and I'm trying to get to isolate the elements in this. If you'll excuse me. And he kind of runs downstairs.
I was going to apologize to him, but fine, Sir Filigree. Go attend to the dead girl.
He's pretty urgent, just like, hey, I'm a cop. Let me get to that dead girl. That's my shit.
You'd think a girl died or something. What's his problem?
Where's Bubba? Alright, he's over here. Okay. Now, unless anybody else has some pressing actions, the Count and Countess are taking this poorly. Kind of. To me or a character? Okay, what's up? Well, from what you have deduced, just Abigail, who screamed shortly after the large thump.
Do I recognize the wound as being like from a knife or dagger, or is it something more rugged?
I'd say that you wouldn't be able to tell if it was a knife or a dagger, but it was definitely a knife
like
or a dagger or something similar, because
not claws or something.
No, a single blade. It would have been obviously kind of awkward for that wound to have happened from a sword, but a knife or a dagger kind of would have left that depth of cut across her neck.
Okay.
And I will be right back.
It's weird because I'll also be right back. Yeah.
I was worried about what the long-term plan of the stealth between the guy's legs was going to be, because at that point, if I ever come out, I look suspicious as hell. But then Jay knocked me out anyway, so it didn't matter.
My thought was that we would hear, like, oh, and he's doing this, or conversations, but since he immediately just went to Riga's room and didn't talk to anyone else, I thought we would get, like, different information by having you there. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought maybe we'd get some information, but there was never going to be a point where I can, like, come out and not look suspicious.
Yeah. Well, I could have gone back and you could have jumped back to my leg.
Oh, true. You could have done another pass off.
Just pass you between party members until you get back to where we need to be. And
Alright, sorry about that. I'm back. So, after all that, you see Sir Filigree kind of walk down the stairs and rather hurriedly walk up to the little girl, look at her pretty briefly. He takes note of the large slash across the neck, takes note of this Carradine guy who's still kneeling next to her, covered in blood. Then he gets up. He doesn't go to the count or the countess, but he walks pretty quickly over to the butler. Oh shit! I didn't know you went back. He walks quickly over to the butler, and he kind of talks to him for a quick second. Almost whispers in his ear. It's a very kind of muted conversation. Then he walks back over to the count. Then he kind of turns to everyone and kind of formally addresses you guys. If everyone would please leave the count and the countess here with their daughter for just a moment, and come with me into the Grand Hall.
We must get a healer. We have to get her to a healer. We don't have time to gather elsewhere.
I'm sorry, my dear man. I know the potions are your trade, but she is gone.
is he also gathering the top of the stairs dudes?
Yeah, like he called to everyone to please come down and go into the main hall. So as y'all make your way downtown, moving fast because there's a girl down, you see that the butler is hastily talking to his staff and then walking over to the main door. Everybody's kind of making their way. No, Christian's still in here. Zane, they really pull you off there.
Yeah.
I got the implication that you were not going to super willingly leave the body.
Nope.
Okay. And you can still kind of see them fawning over their daughter. Fawning's the wrong word, but you get what I mean.
Fawning.
Oh, she
what a
so
cute
well.
body. The Sir Filigree kind of authoritatively just goes, a great tragedy has just occurred, as you all have seen, but I regret to inform you all that this is not an accident. This girl did not accidentally cut her own throat. I have informed the butler and staff to lock all the doors. I don't mean to alarm anyone, but I feel the obvious must be said. Somebody here is the killer. As a representative of the town guard, I feel it's my duty to inform you that I will be investigating this matter at once, and it'll be necessary, as horrible a time as this is, to ask questions of each and every one of you. We must get to the bottom of this. Anything particular you guys want to do or say? What you say?
Sounds like the guard man's got it all under control.
Cool.
Need to watch Andy Help 4 now.
Yeah, laugh when y'all just kind of sit back and the like detective guard man just figures out the whole mystery.
That's gonna be great.
All right, we have Karen in here trying to sell wares, and Rachel and I are doing tricks.
Oh, you fucking whores!
Oh no, it's better than that, dude. We've got fucking Corey has said that this is all done by magic, and he's the only magician in this place. And literally no one can verify that they've seen me prior to this girl getting murdered. So,
like, I know he fucked up, but just when he was in the middle of everyone, he just goes, "So I think magic killed the young prince." And the fucking guard's just go on.
I think Corey did look... But if you look at the top of the map, one square is 5 feet, so you were like slightly around the corner.
Right.
Well, these are like pillars. Like, this is like an adjacent room.
Just to place myself, was I still talking to Vincent or next to Vincent at the time?
You guys were all kind of into...
Yeah, that area,
with
right?
the exception of Lickle, who was secretly with Filigree up in the Riga's room. I hope you took note of who was there.
No, I took note of who I was talking to.
Okay.
Hopefully other people's did.
Nope.
Nope.
I was not keeping notes of
all very important information, and you guys are like, "Oh, that would have been nice to note." I'm guessing that one or two of you may watch the recording again before next week. But
right.
It'll become more apparent then.
Well,
yeah,
if Corey
I
uploads it.
do that.
That's true. I don't think he's
Corey, you need to upload
four.
this one, because it sounds like we all failed to notice very key details.
You guys are going to get really fucking investigatory and like have a lot of hunches in the 5 minutes game time that happens at the end of this and the start of the next one. Oh, I just have this quick hunch after a week of investigation. All right. So after he says that, if you guys don't have any pending actions, there's kind of a lot of stunned silence and looking around to each other, and the three girls are rather scared, and they're kind of huddling up to not Kieran, their mother.
Can I do like a glance around the room and see if anyone seems less shaken, like they aren't fazed by it?
Is there anyone like specific you want to focus on? Like, everybody in the room's pretty broad.
I guess Madame Elizin, because I saw her walking away, and Abigail, because she was right there.
Well, Elizin was walking towards everything, but she didn't realize what happened, or it was more casual, yeah. All right, so roll perception.
On the character sheet. 9.
All right. Well, this weathered old lady that like clearly has dealt with a lot of despair in her life. She's very clearly kind of distraught, but like she's not bawling or anything. She's just kind of reserved and keeping quiet. She's almost kind of staring daggers at like around the room herself.
All right.
Anybody else? Maybe you want to pick somebody and...
I'd like to focus on Reginald, personally.
Mr. Reginald?
Yeah,
all right.
I'd like to see if he
roll
maybe... Yep.
Perception yourself.
Perception... Where's the crow? Perception with a P2, so 12.
Okay. You see Reginald, he's he seems quite shocked by the news. And he kind of glances around, notices the butler locking the doors, and then he kind of stares. Most of his gaze is focused on Madame Elizon.
Does he appear to be armed in any fashion?
Just his handy dandy walking stick, from what you can tell.
Right. It's gonna be a fucking bloodborne switch weapon.
He has the threaded cane.
Reginald Finch, Mall Ninja. Would you like to go see my collection of Shoryuken?
I will peep on Kieran Vashon.
Perception.
Give me 10 years. Perception bonus is 3. So I roll a 11.
All right. Well, you see that Kiernan is almost not listening to Sir Filigree. Like it's kind of phased right by him. He's almost like just dead affixed over the inspector's shoulders, and he's just kind of staring at his brother and his sister-in-law and kind of the whole ordeal up here.
All right.
Very shaken.
Not stirred.
I'd say not stirred. Ooh, quite rattled. Can't say rolled without another perception check.
Zane.
I hear whispers.
Not rolled.
Zane.
I'm listening personally. But yeah.
I don't think it's Kieran. Just so you know.
Michael doesn't think it's.
Like faded out at important information there.
No, just literally typing what he just said.
It's not.
I thought Mike was like, I don't think it's. Just fades out like, yeah, I'll never tell.
I was
watching Madame Elizon. I believe. Somebody was watching Elizon, somebody was watching...
I was watching Elizon.
Okay. Who are you watching, Mr. Tom DeLong? Ista? Alright, roll perception.
Ista and Boole?
Okay. So you see Ista comforting her two youngest. I guess she's kind of comforting the oldest too, but the oldest is not really paying attention to her. The youngest, Abigail, is almost hysterical. She's just fucking like wailing and just trying to console her. Shira's kind of freaking out too, but not as much. Nell's just kind of looking past them and kind of focusing on her father. But she's clearly distraught as well. Just looking at her father and kind of wondering what's going on.
Is Keeman the mother or father?
Kiernan's their father.
Kiernan's father.
Oh, our family tree is no longer accurate.
He's saying I need to add a star next to Adele.
Jesus Christ.
Waiting for someone to write like Kanye up there. There it is.
Kobe.
That's what I meant. Wow, I'm racist.
Yeah, Kanye. I was like, what?
I mean,
I saw a couple like memes with Kanye and Kobe. I got them confused because I'm a racist bastard. All right. All right. So after that's happening, Sir Filigree bids you all one moment, and he kind of walks over here. When he starts talking with them, you kind of overhear half of the conversation because he's talking with kind of authority and not really emotion right now, whereas the other three are kind of talking quieter, and they're very stunned. Sir Filigree and is kind of saying that they they need to allow him to quickly examine the body, and then they should move it to another location. As all this is happening, Kieran is kind of getting a hold of himself, and he's going over to help his wife console his daughters. Vincent is taking a seat over there, and Reginald's walking over to talk to Madame Elizon. I believe that's all the NPCs. Yeah. Anything y'all want to do, or let all this happen?
I'm gonna go over to the corner with Vincent. He kind of knows what's up. I'm gonna say, Vincent, when I ran upstairs, I saw you at the top of the stairs. Did you happen to see anything? What happened?
Oh my! I came out as I heard quite a loud noise, followed, of course, by that little girl screaming. I hope she's all right.
I also remembered that earlier, but you were then not available, so I didn't say it. Can I get up the stairs? Or will I be stopped by Mr. Investigator Guy?
I mean, he's not like holding anyone there. I believe he had the butler lock the doors, and he's right there talking to the people at the body. I wouldn't be able to tell you what'll happen in the future, of course, but
certainly.
It looks like it's open.
I'm going to attempt to just go upstairs. Upstairs, yeah. The other room upstairs?
Someone wants to go upstairs.
I'm going upstairs.
There's some potions upstairs he wants to examine. He wants to see the glittery substrate. Alright, well...
I'm just going upstairs.
Alright, so he's going upstairs, even after a few salty whispers from Mr. Tom DeLong.
Oh, those whispers.
Do you want them to be more than whispers?
No, I don't.
There's some leeway being given.
With a kind and just God that dictates this world.
Sir Filigree takes note, but he doesn't stop you. He has more pressing matters right now. What are you doing upstairs?
Once I actually get upstairs, I'd like to take a look around to see who's looking at me, and then sort of sneak away, and then start to head towards the room.
I mean, Sir Filigree took note of you going upstairs.
Upstairs, yeah, but he's not actually...
There's not a huge vantage point if you're not, like, near the... It's not like a low staircase, it's pretty high. So, like, unless you're, like, right up against it, there's not a huge vantage point of you.
Okay. I am going to, once I'm sure that nobody's actually immediately on my, like, seeing me, I'm going to head towards the Countess's
room.
My
God. Of course you are.
Okay.
Immediately towards my seeing me.
Yep.
As you head over there, you see a normal door that, as you check it, is indeed locked.
Well, I'm going to take a look around, make sure nobody looking down the hall at me, and then I'm going to go ahead and try to pick that shit.
Alright, roll for it.
Pick that shit, he says.
Pick that shit. What's my dex bonus? It's 5, right? So that's a 21.
Alright, a 21. It takes you quite a while, and at some points you're kind of a little concerned that you're taking too long up here. But you do eventually hear the telltale kind of clicks and feel the ka-chunk on the reverberations through the tool as you're picking this, and you're able to reach over and push the door open with a very light squeak, kind of a prolonged creak, if you will. While he's doing that, because it does take him a little while to pick that one. I almost got him. Anybody down here want to do anything?
I'm not sure.
I want to talk to Filigree, but he's predisposed, so I'm going to wait for him to be done talking with the family.
Okay. It's definitely the correct tone.
Amazing.
Elizon just looks at you and almost in disdain. Not quite disdain, just kind of shock, and she doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone right now. And Reginald just kind of turns and just goes, "Yes, it's a bit much. It's also much. I'm afraid the madam is quite distraught right now. I'm not sure that she's in the mood for a discussion." Can you roll charisma for me right now?
Did you see something besides the dead body? Is that... Wait, hold on. Yep. Is that... Did you
That's
roll
okay,
one?
because based on what you were saying, it was you rolled very low. Do you see anything else other than your dead granddaughter? Reginald just goes, "Excuse me, sir, I believe you should get a hold of yourself. This is neither the time nor place. Please leave us be." Maybe that is better left to the inspector.
Toodles.
All right, nobody else doing shit?
Nothing like looking for a kick son under Franz Ferdinand.
I guess I'll just stroll over to this conversation.
Sure.
See what's going on.
I was going to ask Abigail if she happened to see anything.
We'll do Lickle first. So, Lickle walks over, and he's kind of gotten to the point where the Count is almost kind of forcibly pulling the Countess away, and Filigree is over by the body, and Gershon is kind of sobbing, maybe like 6 or so feet away. Just kind of on his knees sobbing. Is there something specific you want to do, or are you just kind of over here watching?
Yeah, I want to try to walk over to Filigree and say, "Excuse me, Sir Filigree, can I get you alone for just a second? Need to talk to you." It's about the murder.
Roll perception.
Perception?
Well, it's been another murder.
Well, mercy me.
I roll a 22.
Oh, good roll. So as you're walking over and you see Filigree kind of examining the body, you do notice that he is pulling open one of the girl's hands, and he's pulling out kind of a scrap of paper. And he kind of examines it for a second, and then he puts it into his pocket. And then as he hears you, he goes, Well, yeah, yes, in but a moment. Please allow me to inspect the body.
Well, I see you already found something in her hand, so I'll give you a minute here to check out the scene. I'm like, walk. Well, no, there's no appropriate reason for me to talk to Gershon without first talking to. I guess I will instead go over and try to talk to Count Campar Vashon, even though he's attempting to help his wife.
I mean, you could just like wait 5 seconds to talk to Filigree, but if you do want to go over and talk to these two right now, that's fine.
I just want to talk to an adult. I don't care if it's 5 seconds.
I need an adult.
All right. Well, while you're waiting,
I'll wait for him
to do that. Laura, what you doing over here?
I was just going to.
So Abigail is fucking like hysterical. Shira's pretty upset. Nell is Nell's very concerned, but she's not saying anything, and then Ista and Kieran are kind of just talking, trying to console their two youngest.
I'm gonna go up to Kieran and say, "Hey, can I borrow you for a second?"
Y'all speak very casually for a
yeah.
Oh, did you see anything upsetting? You know, other than the dead girl. Kieran kind of turns to you and goes, yes, please quickly, my daughters are very upset. He kind of pulls you into this side room around the corner so that you guys are kind of out of earshot if you talk softly.
That's actually exactly why I wanted to talk to you. I didn't want to disturb your daughter anymore after she already saw that. But did she mention seeing anyone or anything?
From what I can tell, she just saw the body. I'm not. We haven't pried much further, but I'm not sure how much she would have been able to see or if she was even looking. I'm sure the inspector will ask her shortly.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. I didn't want to, as I said, I didn't want to upset her further, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So.
Yes, I thank you for your concern.
Yep. Please go have not fun, but I was gonna say have fun with your family. Please go back.
I'll have quite a
comforting your family.
This is letting me know that y'all are very unprepared for a funeral.
I mean, I don't think I'll ever have to be at a funeral where I'm also investigating. I'll just not be talking to other people.
Okay, see,
trying to make conversation.
Not to talk to anyone. What if you have to talk to somebody who is dealing with grief?
Well, then I'm gonna
have a lovely day.
Go have fun with their family.
I suppose that's a little bit better than just walks up and just goes, "Huh, sucks."
What was the one Corey did like last week where it was like, has anything weird been happening here? And it's like, our son died.
All right.
That was very warranted.
Over to Zane Brandy, who's just gained entrance to the lavish Count Campar and Countess Revelda's penthouse suite.
Ooh.
It's a nice room, very well furnished.
I'm going to lock the door behind me.
You do so.
Yeah. I am then going to see about if there's like a clear desk or if there's a burrow.
A bureau?
Bureau.
Is that how you say bureau?
Not usually, no. Just having fun with it.
Okay. So you see that there's pretty clearly a vanity over on one side that would be, by deductive reasoning, most likely used by the Countess, as well as a rather large kind of walk-in closet over in the corner you should be able to see on the map, as well as kind of a kind of writing desk as well over in the corner of the main room. Anything, any of those particular you want to go check out, or I don't know.
I guess first thing I'm going to do is check out the writing desk.
All right. You remark to yourself that it's very much like a raven. Nope. Swing and a miss. All right. Anyway, roll investigation.
This is reminiscent of the other time I was investigating things.
Oh no.
We rolled a big 6. That was with a +3. Oof.
You see that it's a desk.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a writing desk, and there are papers on it, as well as a quill and some drawers. You're clearly looking through the stuff, so you're kind of you're noticing some kind of formally written documents, kind of about estate matters and kind of invoices and some kind of letters of request and stuff. A couple letters to the guard, the Bastille, and kind of town guard as well. As you're going through the drawers, you do find kind of a couple more writing materials. There's some dense files in kind of one of the lower drawers, but you don't really leaf through all of them because you're not that great at investigating. As well as in one of the lower, not lower, shallower drawers, there's a couple of keys on a key ring.
Is there any distinguishing features to the keyring, or just a generic keyring and some generic
Well,
keys?
that there are keys on it
Sure.
would be about the only distinguishing feature.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I conclude that they are likely literate, and I will go ahead and check the vanity.
All right. You find it adequately vain. A lot of makeup and powder brushes, and it seems that the Countess Revelda is quite meticulous, as everything is put away cleanly in its place as if it's never been used. But for the most part, all that you're looking through it, you see is a couple hand mirrors and brushes and makeup.
Well, then, if I haven't heard anything in particular, like coming out of the hallway, I guess I will start to investigate the closet.
All right. You go into the closet. You find a rather lavish and extensive wardrobe, primarily for the Countess. Lots of gowns and dresses and formal wear. Over in a corner, there is kind of a very fine and regal, almost looking suit of kind of battle-ready armor on stand. Almost seems like it's for display now more than purpose. It clearly hasn't been moved in quite a long time. And a sword kind of hanging up on the wall next to it. There's not much else other than clothes and shoes and things.
Yep. Can I poke around where the shoes and stuff are stored and see if I can find an effigy like we found in the young master's room?
Roll investigation.
So no.
Hey, I rolled a not natural 20.
Okay, so pretty good. So you're looking around in the closet and kind of under everything. You don't see anything in the closet itself, but in getting down on your hands and knees and looking under things, you do see from the closet out into the main hall that there may be something under the bed.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and follow my intuition there and go ahead and take a peek under the bed.
And as you're
Mike
crawling
finds
around,
their used dildo.
crawling around, you find the Black Beauty. You found in reaching under, you find you do see and find, in fact, a very similar bundle. This one not as desiccated. It's kind of fresh, almost fragrant foliage, kind of tied up in a bundle and placed almost exactly under the middle of the bed.
Just 1 second.
Like that.
No. Well, damn, I don't really have much good to do. With that, I'll just remember that, in my brain.
You could take it, but...
That seems like a bad idea when we're being investigated. I'm going to go ahead and leave that where I found it.
Okay.
And satisfied that I have not left fruitless, I'm going to head out the southern balcony.
Yeah, it's a balcony.
I'm going to attempt to climb over to room 15. I guess there's like a window into a bedroom.
15. Okay. Well, you kind of push aside the very heavy linen curtains that are draped in front of the entrance to the balcony. The balcony door is open. They're kind of blowing in the breeze. You push them aside, and you're greeted with kind of a brisk breeze of a fresh, cool air in the night. The moon is about half full. It's shining pretty bright over the garden below with the fountain and the gardener who you met previously, Bill, is just kind of tending to some of the shrubs, completely oblivious, it seems, to everything that's happening indoors. And go ahead and roll athletics.
Athletics.
I will
acrobatics.
Kill that roll.
Would you
Gotta
say
be athletics. Can't be acrobatics.
I would accept either.
Well,
I mean, not after the roll, but
no, I mean specifically acrobatics for me is a +7.
Me too.
Athletics is a +2. Okay.
Well, I'm saying I'll let you make the argument for either. So if you want to roll acrobatics, go for it.
I'm looking to roll acrobatics. With acrobatics, I just rolled an 8, so 15.
Okay. So you go ahead and you pretty nimbly jump onto the edge of the balcony.
And I do have a pitten and rope if I needed to secure myself anywhere. But
did you say a pitten?
A python? I don't know. Piton.
Is it a pitten like when you leave a job and get a very small sum of payment?
That's a pittance.
That's it's a pittance.
A
piton. Oh, piton. Yeah,
okay.
A piton is the like spikes for climbing that you drive in. But I would assume you're not using that as clanking in a piton.
Right, I don't want to, but if I
would probably notify Bill.
Observation. Right.
So, but you see from the kind of rough-hewn, mortared stone blocks on the outside that, while not easy, you could definitely make do with the finger and foot holds without kind of formal climbing gear. And you make your way kind of slowly, but definitely able to, over to the window in 15. And we'll leave you, literally a cliffhanger, as we... Yeah, it's 7:40. as we kind of wind up for this session, unless any of these boys in the Grand Hall would like to do anything quick, I believe Lickle was waiting to talk to Sir Filigree, so we can go ahead and do that now.
That's correct.
He finishes kind of examining initially the body. The Count has managed to pull the Countess over here, and he is kind of curtly, after Gershon is kind of ignoring him and just continuing to stop, he kind of curtly gets his attention, and Gershon kind of comes over to the both of them as Filigree quickly talks to the butler who had came over, and then he says, "All right, Lickle, the butler is going to be bringing over the body into the it's not a bathroom. What is the term for the room with all the baths?
Bathhouse?
Yeah, but it's like a series of rooms. It's not a building. I guess bathhouse. All right. It's going to bring... Sure. He's going to bring the body over there. Now, what was it that you wanted to talk to me about? And he kind of takes you slightly around the corner over here.
I wanted to try to either you or the Count. I'm not sure what's going on here, but this is now the second child of Count Campire that has seemingly suffered an ill fate. Adeline clearly has been murdered. I really am greatly concerned about the safety of Gershon right now, especially if, as you said, the killer is somebody currently now locked in the house. I'm very concerned for his safety, and I just wanted to try to get your attention because I feel like you are the appropriate authority to contact.
Roll persuasion.
I have to persuade him that the third kid might die?
No, I mean...
It's probably
He
might like me more if he believes me.
It's basically how convincing you are in telling him this. Does he think you're being sincere, ulterior, you know?
Oh, okay. Well, I roll a 13.
Like, are you pulling him aside and being like, hey, I think the last kid's next? Or are you being like, hey, I'm really worried about that last kid?
Gotcha. I couldn't have more middle of the pack. I've got a 13. Well,
Right. I mean, that's good enough. It was a pretty straightforward thing. I just wanted to make sure you didn't like crit fail and just be like kind of clumsily just be like, "Hey, I think that other kid might die."
Fair warning, I'm going after the other kid next.
He goes, "That's a very compelling argument. Thank you for alerting me. Yes, in all the activity, I seem to have slipped my mind. My primary thought was in identifying who the killer may be. I'm not very experienced in active crime scenes, if you will. The safety of the rest of the guests must be paramount. Thank you very much for bringing this to my attention. I need to round everybody up. I did see what I believe is your companion going upstairs. I find that very suspicious, but I will have to attend to that later, as I can't let anyone go off on their own. It's too dangerous.
Well, I've met him a few times at the clubhouse, the Silver Fern. I really can't speak much to his character, so by all means, certainly try to keep track of all the guests. If you need any help with anything, please let me know. I'm just very concerned about the safety of the other children.
Thank you. This will be a long night, and there will be a lot of questions, but I appreciate your assistance. All right.
Mission accomplished.
All right, we're gonna cut it there, boys.
All right.
Save the kids and deflect to Mike. Everything went.
I just think Mike actually finished her off when he ran over and shoved that potion in her throat.
Well, then I fucking dodged a bullet in that case, but like, holy shit.
I mean, so far, he's pretty suspicious of you in general, but he might have questions. All right.
I'm just here to peddle my wares. This is beautiful.
Yeah, he liked the shininess of my potions. That's all.
They're luster. Don't diminish that to shiny.
Well,
I'm with
I
Jay.
feel like a thesaurus would side with me.